I'm Praveena Naidu Thota, founder director of Women Envision Council for Entrepreneurship. And very coined word, one nation, one election. But I was really wondering how far my women are aware of it. Then that's where it triggered me. Why not? I go to everyone, it could be bureaucrats, it could be farmer, it could be an entrepreneur, industrialist, or the IPS officer, and know their perspective and make my women to know about that perspective and they understand about it. That's where I felt, okay, so I should start meeting the people, and I'm fortunate enough. And I should tell one more thing. Women in Vision Council and Money Max are coming together to nurture entrepreneurs. So I thought, why not start with, because see, whatever issue or whatever the, things happening in, society, we always think from entrepreneur perspective. So I thought we should start from, entrepreneurs only. So here you go. We have Bala Narendra garu, and he's a farmer, comes from the farmer family, first generation entrepreneur, I guess, and industrialist. And I think so he has abundance of knowledge. I think so all our women entrepreneurs or women get to understand what is one nation, one election. Namaste, Andy. I'm really happy to meet you. And really, I thought I should enlighten women about one nation, one election. Can you just throw light on that?
Yeah, sure. One nation, one election. The statement itself is very, very motivational, inspirational, and forward-looking statement from my side. For the last 7+ decades, India has been undergoing a very traditional way of electioning, due to which so many segmentations, categorizations, local politics, regional politics, many things shaped up, which kind of, I should say, a small division, a partial division in terms of the society, and maybe somewhere even gender biased elections are also done. So this has to, this tradition has to, cross over the situation, because now we are in the millennium generation and Gen Z. These many iterations of elections are eating away the government's money once again, and infrastructure. Also, some common time for entrepreneurs and farmers, because that's a continuous affair. Farming and entrepreneurship is not like employment where you just sit for a day, you take a leave or something. So you go with the season, you are all the while, you are going to feed the community, you are going to create the employment. So these people have the highest impact. Now, for the last 7+ decades, as I said, it was a repeated action that has been happening. Many small parties have cropped up. Now let us give an opportunity for one nation, one election, so that the civilization gets strengthened and the height of Bharat is elevated amongst the fellow countries at a global standard. In the last 10 years, whatever the changes have come in the society in terms of Atmanirbhar Bharat or Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, couple of things have given Indianness. So when we stand united, how that oneness can be elevated, that has been raised very well by our Honorable Prime Minister and rest of the policy makers who are involved in the government. Now the one nation, one election also should contribute and should elevate the level and standard of the Bharat across the globe. I recommend that this should take a shape, and this is for the aspiring generations. Every mother, every father has to dream of this, because their next generations should live in an unbiased society, highest level of civilization, and of course the social security that we are feeling that is lacking in the country. For the last 10 years, whatever we have been experiencing, all these things put together to the power of 100 can be achieved by one nation, one election, provided we all of us are on a very strong conviction and are supportive on this. So our next generations are going to be safe, strong, and very, very progressive with this decision.
Yeah, so that's really amazing. So oneness, the way you've uttered itself shows that it's really need of the hour. But one thing I would like to know, as an entrepreneur, as an industrialist, you as a farmer altogether, you might be having some experiences, because the very purpose of me looking at the perspective is where because of elections, because of this, probably they might have lost. Maybe it could be general or in your experience. That would be great if you could share that.
Yeah, every state it goes through a election. Definitely, there's a change in the policymakers, bureaucrats, ministers. So a lot of change. An entrepreneur who wants to start an industry where he got a permission in the previous government, and due to some reason, an 8 month to 10 month delay because of the change of government that's happening. And once the new government gives him the approval of the project and he kickstarts, and his raw material has to come from neighboring state where again the new election is happening. So every election iteration is about 6 to 8 months of business time that goes off. Even in the recent 2-year plan, we faced that difficulty because AP and Telangana had the same scenario. 8 to 10 months, many things were stalled. Even investment markets and investors also are towards the politics. They say, let us wait for the election. Then they say, let us wait for the cabinet to form, then the ministry. So many things. So in a financial year, if two states have elections anywhere in the country, definitely in both the states, the first impacting industry would be majority of the entrepreneurs. And secondly, the farming community. As I said earlier, farming and entrepreneurship are not like jobs. They are based on season. They are required every day in, day out. So real superheroes for the community are entrepreneurs, and especially with a lot of government initiatives now, women entrepreneurs are also taking a very strong contribution towards taxes and employment creation. So one election will definitely give a common time to the country, and social conditioning is also most important today, because now everybody has a standard of literacy today because of social media, easy understanding, accessibility to information. So all of us will spend 10-15 days on an election, we talk about it. So the entire country spends 15 days more like an election holiday, one day, one election, that is off. Now every election has a speculation, every election has a betting. Lot of sideways happen where the developmental delays are unfactored. Couple of projects will never shape because of a election in a particular state. And now regional politics are driving casteism, religiousness, of course, a lot of underprivileged minority things. All these things contribute to a political kingdom for a particular community. At the end of the day, the national agenda of Bharatness and the oneness can be achieved only through one nation, one election, because next generations are very, very intelligent. We need to utilize their potential and grow India's standard to a global level. Now, Indian students are working as engineers across the globe, which means India has a good presence. But when it comes back to India, people generally move out of India because of so many particulated segmentations available in the society today. Probably election is one amongst them, very, very impactful, and which costs many lives also. So for an year, it takes out of the 5 years of the power, initial 1 year and last 1 year for any regional party goes off only on preparation of the election, which can definitely be saved towards the state's development. And now, just because of GST, one GST coming into the country made many things very, very systematic.
Yes.
And the refund policies on the online, once upon a time, if you cancel your ticket on IRCTC, 6 to 7 days time, now it is instantly you are able to. So more accountability is there, transparency, and secure in transacting with India will increase definitely. This is how it is. Every policymaker has to give it a shape, give it a strong thought, do a strong manifestation across the country. And every student, as I said, every student should have the vision document with him for the country when we say all of us stand on the one platform. So every mother, every father, every brother, every family has to manifest for one nation, one election. Very soon, very strong. And definitely that's going to be a massive change in terms of the contribution to the GDP. And industrialization has to increase in a country like India, because we are population wise and fitment wise we are the highest today. Intelligence quotient is also very high in India. So a woman and of course the next generation kids have to take this up as a very serious agenda and play for it.
Beautifully mentioned, because I feel as especially a woman or the student, they think like election itself is like, do we need to vote? From there it starts, and I don't know how far they are even thinking how it impacts them. But like people like you, when you come forward and explain and express it, probably who's ever looking at will try to understand, deep dive into. Please spread a word, try to understand how it's going to create a positive impact. Thank you so